Good evening, everyone. Our presentation is on API testing using Postman, presented by myself, Adeze Muchazi, and Adeyinka Adebayo. Date 20 September 2025 today. Next slide. Okay. API testing using Postman agenda. What is API? Why API testing? What is Postman? Importance of Postman, how to install Postman, sign up and login page, sidebar of the Postman. Yeah. What is API? API means an API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's basically a set of rules and tools that allows two different pieces of software to talk to each other. An API is like a set of rules and tools that allows one piece of software to talk to another. Example, a weather app uses a weather API to fetch today's forecast. A web API lets apps communicate over the internet. Example, a weather app uses a weather API to give today's forecast. You don't need to know what happened behind how the server did it. All you know is the outcome. You requested and you got response. Why API testing? The importance. By testing API during development and staging, you identify issues before they reach production. This reduces costly downtime, avoids user frustration, and makes debugging easier. Ensures correct functionality. Your application talks correctly to other services it relies on. Functionality, for instance, your login feature, and you want to test your login username and password. You need to test, if it works correctly using the API testing. What is Postman? A Postman is like remote control for API. It helps you test, debug, and manage them easily without writing full application. The Postman is a tool used for API. Example, a developer building a login feature might use Postman to send the post request to API login with username and password. It checks if the response comes back successful and the token saves the token for later requests, like fetching user profile. The Postman has got its own way of testing, unlike the Azure DevOps. Like using the get, post, put, and delete. Importance of Postman. Postman is user-friendly. With Postman, you don't need to be a coder. You don't need to be a coding wizard to start testing API. The layout is designed for exploration, even if you feel a bit overwhelmed at first. We'll cover everything piece by piece. So we'll get to the practical part of it. Yeah, so how to install Postman. Using Postman link in the browser, www.postman.com, you sign up or log in. And there you go. And that's it. Type in the browser to install Postman. and then sign up or login page. And this is what you are going to see. Yeah, so sidebar of the Postman. Here you find core functions like workspaces, where you switch between different projects and team environments. Collections organizes your API requests, more on this later. API, a place to manage and define API specifications. The builder is the central area where the action happens. So we'll go to the practical part, and this is the workspace of the Postman. So if we go to the practical part, uh, that's my, and this is my Postman. Where's to see my screen? Okay. So, this. I'll stop sharing now. Sorry, let me get I think that's something. Okay, so this is an open source RESTful app API. So you get this, and we scroll down to try to get our first request with Postman. We'll be using an API that would allow us to view a particular ID and the value using parameter. Yeah. So let's take this one. Copy and go to your Postman and paste it and send. So it gives you this response. The 200, okay, request successful. The server has responded as required, so it's okay. Then the 72 ms something seconds. Yeah, that's the time it took to respond. And 1.12 kilobytes is the data size. Then you have the body, which is there, and the language is using JSON. Yeah, so we have like up to 13 IDs here. 12, 13 IDs. So we want to narrow these IDs down. Let me say I want ID 3. So what you do, you come here, you say ID, and you put 3. You just want to say the ID 3 alone, and you send, and it gives you just ID 3. Yeah. And you want it to give you response of 2 IDs. You can add another one. Maybe you want 13, ID 13, and you send it, and it gives you response of 2 IDs, ID 3 and 13. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for me for API using Postman.